This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Kidnappers, a community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.
Good morning, everyone. This is Heiko from Acupuncture On Air. And today we've got a special day, actually, because it's going to be World Acupuncture Day. And we're talking with Robin Kerr, who is the New Zealand president of Acupuncture New Zealand. So good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good morning, Heiko. What a day, eh? Acupuncture, World Acupuncture Day. Celebrated all around the world.
Yeah. So, but before we just sort of go into sort of what's going to happen around the world on this day, but just tell us a little bit about Acupuncture New Zealand, sort of how long it's been around, how it started, a bit of information like that just for our listeners.
Oh, lovely. So Acupuncture New Zealand has been the registering body for New Zealand for 45 years, since 1977. It all started with 9 members, and now we're around the 700 mark. And for Acupuncture New Zealand, that's been the organisation to set the standards for acupuncture practice and training in New Zealand.
Now, what about in the educational sector in New Zealand? What's involved for people who are thinking about to become an acupuncturist? Can you tell us a bit about that? Certainly. So currently there are 2 NZQA approved colleges that offer Bachelor of Science degrees. So this is in traditional Chinese medicine. And there's also postgraduate diplomas, certificates and master's programs in traditional Chinese medicine. So basically the Bachelor program focuses on acupuncture primarily, but there's also including some Tuina, which is the body work, and herbal medicine as well. Now, my understanding that a degree like that will be the minimum requirement for future New Zealanders to become registered officially in New Zealand. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So this will be a minimum standard when the practitioner is registered to the newly appointed Chinese Medical Council of New Zealand. So there's New Zealand Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbal medicine, and Tuina have all been classified as regulated activities. That means you must be qualified and registered to be performing those.
Now, so how long has this registration process been in the pipeworks? Because we've been around for 45 years, and we're getting registered next year.
Yes. So we're looking at the registration process will probably be for the 2023-24 year. And Heiko, this journey of regulation in New Zealand has taken place since 2007.
Right, okay. So it's been a while.
And take age. But I will point out that the nurse practitioners, it took 17 years for them to finally have that accepted as a qualification under the Act. So we're thinks that this is how long it takes. And yes, certainly New Zealand has dragged the chain for some professions, and others it's been expedient for. So some have moved past us in the queue.
Now, what about in terms of the changes that will bring about? Because, I mean, I've been practicing for, in New Zealand, over 20 years and everything's the same. How will it be different for me, and how will it be different for the patients?
Well, firstly, I just want to say that whilst the chain has dragged for a while on this, and other professions have moved through, and other countries have moved through regulation process. I mean, Australia's good 14 years plus ago. One of the things about us being late bloomers in this area is that we're not moving with the herd, and we've been able to observe unintended consequences of the policy decisions. So regulation should provide a safety net for the public, and therefore capture the profession as it stands today.
And some of the requirements that were set 15 odd years ago internationally, such as certain English standards and things, actually worked as barriers to capturing a profession. And when that happens, when you have excessive requirements for, say, English levels at academic, like Cambridge English levels, then what actually happens is not only do you not capture all your professionals who are currently practicing, and you provide barriers for new ones joining, but the communities they serve are also impacted. So there's a lot of thought gone into this, and I can see now that there's some, as the regulations are coming out for commentary, that this is moving in better directions for the New Zealand public. But also what it means for our professionals is that there's going to be higher levels of professional expectations, and that includes the more teeth to challenge those that aren't meeting the basic requirements of the Health and Disability Act or the professional standards as the regulated authorities outline. So there'll be more audits potentially. There certainly is one of the ways that the public can lay a complaint, and it's quite a serious matter because they're independent. Regulated authorities are independent to the profession, so it acts in the public's interest.
Okay. Now, what about now getting back to sort of World Acupuncture Day? Just tell us a little bit about that. Maybe when it started and what sort of activities does Acupuncture New Zealand have planned or organised for the day?
Well, we have. Here's one here. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
All the way from Littleton to the sunny Hawke's Bay. We have posters, and generally practitioners are doing things in their own offices with the celebration. We have no large thing taking place this year. I'm going to be in Singapore. I'm leaving today for Singapore and for a talk with the World Federation of Acupuncture Societies.
Right, just how come they didn't invite me to Singapore? I could have gone there, but anyway, you have a good time when you go. But now, with the bigger picture, what sort of role does Acupuncture New Zealand play with the World Federation of Acupuncture Societies? Because you'll be going there and representing us. So just give us a bit of a background there.
Oh yes, so New Zealand has been involved in the World Federation of Acupuncture Societies, which is based in Beijing. There's around 109 different countries involved in it now. It's quite large, and it's very strongly affiliated with the World Health Organization. But what it is we meet, and it's about international standards and looking at the development of standards and setting requirements for the WHO as well. So discussing what the importance of traditional medicine. In 2016, we were made. Chinese medicine was recognised as a treasure, as in Paris. That was. So we're looking at it as Chinese medicine as a taonga, and we've been involved. We've got 3 representatives in New Zealand. All are on the executive of the World Federation, and we have a strong voice there. We've been involved for quite some time with a history of 45 years regulation in New Zealand, and not with an HPCA but self-regulated. We really have been involved on the world stage for many years.
Well, that's really good, but I think we're at this point where we're running out of time, but Just before we go, could you tell the listeners and the public, where they can go or how they can get to the services of a professionally trained acupuncturist?
Certainly. We have a Find a Practitioner database, a search engine, actually, on our website. So the website is acupuncture.org.nz, or you can call at 0800 228 786. And it's very easy through the website, though, to find a practitioner by the area you're in. We also are able to determine, for those that are veterans, for instance, especially competence-trained practitioners throughout the country.
All right,
so
that's great.
It's a very good way to find a well-qualified acupuncturist.
All right, no, that's great, Robin. Thanks very much for coming on to the show, and good luck with the future. And of course, have a great trip to Singapore. I'll be thinking of you there. And just to close the show, and I know that Ken always thinks my songs are the weirdest songs on the planet, but I've found one for him that's hopefully the weirdest one. So thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll talk to you again on the next show.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Robin. Bye.
This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Kidnappers, a community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.